and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I was when deprivation. What's up, YouTube? Sorry I've been gone so long. I've been crazy busy. If you don't notice the background, I'm in a completely new place. I moved all the way back from the Kampong to Bangkok, basically for work. And so we're doing a crazy transition right now where we're moving everything here. Everything's not really set up yet, but we're doing what we can. That being said, today we're going to be talking about how to get your child's passport and citizen abroad if you are an American citizen living in Thailand and had a kid here and you're just wondering how I can get a passport for my child. So it's very easy compared to other countries. I've talked to other people that Malaysian, Singaporean, Japanese, and it's a bit more difficult for them versus where the U.S. citizenship is actually pretty easy and straightforward. And I'm just going to go over some stuff. It'll probably be pretty vague. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and just talk to me about it and I'll help you out. Everything that I'm discussing will be in the comments below, so you can just go through and click and see what you actually need. If the lighting's a little off, I apologize. I don't have my lights set up properly, so it's going to be a little bit odd. You might be able to see it in the glasses. I'm sorry. So that being said, you're going to need a couple forms. The first one's going to be the DS2029 form. That's basically an application on reporting your birth abroad. And basically this information that you're going to be writing is mainly you and your spouse's information as far as everything about you guys. It's not a long form. It's probably 2 or 3 pages. Pretty easy to fill out. Just basically name, date of birth, address, things like that. It's just a very basic information about that. After that, you're going to need a DS11 form, which is the U.S. passport application form. You're going to want to do both at the same time. It's just a lot easier, so I would recommend doing that instead of just doing the citizen abroad. Especially if you guys plan on going back, you know, wherever you guys are from, to visit family and things like that, because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to meet your little one. You will need, with that application, a 2-inch by 2-inch white background picture, and the picture cannot be 6 months or older, or they won't accept it. That's 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters for those that are now converting to centimeters instead of inches like we do in America. And so these are mainly for 17 and younger. If it's 18 over, they're actually going to have to fill out an adult application form to claim their U.S. citizenship. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them, and you can help them out if they are. But mainly this talk is about 17 and younger, basically. Okay, so the next form after that, you will need a DS3053. It's a parental consent form. This is only if one of the parents cannot make it to the interview, and you will need this notarized. There are notarized companies that are very close near the Plunchit BTS station, from what I believe, and there are also translators that are there. There's, I believe, only 7 translation companies in Thailand that the U.S. Embassy actually approved, which is on their website, which I will leave the link below, so you can actually go to any of them to get that information if one of the parents cannot make it to this interview. Now, that being said, your child has to go to the interview. There's no exceptions at all. If you do not bring your child, the interview will not happen, and it'll basically be a waste of money. If you like doing that, go for it, but I don't recommend it. Okay, and the last one's gonna be the DS5525. Basically, it's for special family type things. Is if one of the parents cannot make it because they're unwilling to, or they won't give consent, you will need this form filled out. This is like extreme cases. Most of the time, you're only going to need the DS2029 and the DS11 form. You're not going to need the other 2. This is just in case. I will leave the links again, like I said below. Now, what you will need as far as all your documentations to bring to actually mail them first before your interview actually gets approved. The first one's going to be a bank draft, which is non-refundable. It's only 3 banks actually do this that the U.S. Embassy actually approves. So that'll be either Bangkok Bank, Kasikorn, which is K Bank, and SCB, Siam Commercial Bank. And if you're only going for the CRVA, it's going to be 3,300 baht. But I don't recommend that. I would do the passport at the same time. That's going to run you 7,095 baht to do that. This is based off of today. The price can always change. And I would highly recommend you check the website before you do this. This is non-refundable. You have to get a bank draft. They actually also call it a bill of exchange. There is images that you can have samples of if you go to the bank that you can show them and they'll understand what it is if you can't speak Thai. And that way you can get these. And this is the one thing you're going to have to put the original into your packet when you ship it to them. The other ones, that everything else you're going to be shipping to them is just going to be copies, and you're going to bring all the originals with you when you actually go for your interview. So make sure you have a copy of all your documents you're going to ship to them. Do not ship them the originals. You want to bring those originals with you when you go and do the interview itself. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to mail everything to them. They're pretty quick about it. I think I heard back within like a week. I think they say it takes a little bit longer than that. They basically email you back. They give you a couple dates that they say that, okay, they'll give you like 3 dates that you can pick from on which day you want to go for the interview. You just pick one in the time slot and you actually go to the interview then. If you can't make it to those dates, you can email them back and kind of talk about what your options are as far as changing it. It cannot be over 90 days from the bank draft payment. If it is, you lose out on your money and you basically got to start all over again. So you will need the bank draft, the DS 2029 form, which I already explained, a copy of the U.S. citizen, which I'm assuming it's you who's watching this, is a copy of their passport. If you weren't born a citizen, you got submitted into citizenship, basically naturalization. You will need a copy of that also. And then also the non-U.S. parent's passport, you will need a copy of that. Then you also need a child register, so a birth certificate basically. You need the birth certificate, a copy of that, an English translation of the birth certificate. If the child was born in a international hospital, like Samitiwe, and I know there's a couple more, I can't think of it off the top of my head because I just got back to Bangkok, they offer you a English translation birth certificate on birth. So you can actually ask them for it, and you'll have it, and you'll be good to go. The embassy does allow the translations from the hospital itself. If not, you're going to have to take that Thai birth certificate and actually get it translated from one of the approved translation agencies. Then you're going to need a marriage certificate with a translation on top of that. And if you did get divorced, you're going to need that documentation also with the translation. You're also going to need the mother's prenatal records for a copy. And also you're going to need the evidence of your U.S. citizenship, that you're physically in the U.S. at some time. So that could be high school diploma, college transcripts, W-2 forms, anything that proves that you have lived in the United States. I believe it's 4 years, I could be wrong. That they will need some kind of documentation to prove that. And I'm pretty sure you have something. If not, somebody back home can send it to you. The W-2s are usually the easiest because everyone's pretty much worked in the States. So tax forms work the best. That's what I used. And I also used transcripts and, other things, just to prove my case a bit stronger. You're going to need family photos. This just can be a couple of them, not much. If you aren't married, you're going to need some kind of proof that you guys were physically in the same place at the same time when there was conception, if you were not married. So if you went on a trip somewhere, it could be plane tickets, or if you're working in Bangkok, it could be that. But you need some kind of proof as far as that goes. For the passport, you're going to need the DS11 fee, which you already got the bank statement that you're going to pay both with. The photos that I've already said, and also a notarized DS3053 consent form if you need that. So basically, once the interview's done, after you did all the email, proved the time, went to the embassy, did your interview, all of that's done. Is very straightforward, very easy. You're basically going to go to the embassy. You want to go a bit early. You're going to go and sit down inside the waiting room. That takes the longest. After that's done, they're going to call your number. You're going to go up, talk to them. You're going to raise your right hand, agree to some things. Your wife, girlfriend, or the lady that you had a kid with is going to do the same thing. Just basically proving that this is my child. I'm not lying. Things like that. Once all that's done, they're going to give you this cool little flag. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is. They'll tell you to go outside if you're in Bangkok to get a prepaid 100 baht envelope to mail it back to you. If you're in Chiang Mai, it's a bit different. You have the option of picking it up or going to, I think it's called Maping, and I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. And you can pay them to ship it to you if you're in Chiang Mai. Bangkok and Chiang Mai are the only two places you can actually get this stuff done. So once that's all done, you're going to pay them. You're going to give that envelope to them, and they'll mail it to you. That's basically it. And then once you got everything, you're good to go. If you want to do the social security number, that's not what they do here. You're actually going to have to go to State Department. In Bangkok, that is across the street. And also there's, I think you have to mail all the forms to the Philippines. You can call the State Department, which is across the street. I don't know the number, but I know you can go across and talk to them. But I know from what I've heard from other people say, I haven't done this yet. It's just been chaotic. So I could be wrong, but from what I remember is you have to mail everything to the Philippines, and the Philippines approves everything, and then you get it through the mail. Let me know in the comments if that's not right. I don't want to give false information, that's why. Now, there's special cases for the IVF and surrogacy. As far as if that happens, you need more documentation of medical records and things like that if that's the route you went when you had your child. What I'm talking about is more natural conception. So I hope you guys learned something. I'm so sorry that it took me forever to load these. It's been really chaotic. I've been going back and forth from the compound in Bangkok. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm trying to upload as soon as I can, but with videotaping, editing, things like that. I appreciate and thank you everyone that has been watching these and commenting. It gives me more drive to actually put more content out. And I hope you appreciate everything, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned something, if you're new and you learned something, please like and subscribe. That's all I ask you to do. If you want to, go for it. I appreciate everyone that subscribes to me. If you learned something, please hit that subscribe. It gives me more drive to do this on these crazy nights. It's almost 3 a.m. today, and I'm filming this just because some people asked, hey, when are you going to upload something? So, again, thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.